Do you know, Catherine? I think it's there. Okay. So feedback is, Catherine, correct me if I'm wrong, but feedback is kind of like Obama's PEPFAR. It's a big program. Feed the Future. Feed the Future is a large program focused on food security in Africa. And Feed the Future decided that with so much money, it's billions going into food security in Africa, they needed a monitoring mechanism in place. So they set up a program called Feedback. It's relatively new. It just was born in the last year. Feedback also has a huge survey component. Okay, it's a large household-based survey program. And it has modules. It's a little more complicated, but what they did in the case of Feedback is they have 12 or 13 indicators. You know, some women's agricultural empowerment, poverty depth, nutritional status, and a few other along those lines. And they said, we don't really care if we can link those at the household level, but we want aggregate measures of each of those indicators in the countries where we're working. So they have modules, and countries could implement one or more of those modules to measure, determine indicators that they may not have from other data. So, for example, if you have a DHS, you already have nutrition data, so you don't have to implement the nutrition module. But no one had the Women's Agricultural Empowerment Index because that's a brand new index, right? So we can talk about feedback in the groups if it comes up, but it's somewhat different than these others in the sense that there are, in each country, you are going to find the Women's Empowerment Index in those countries from the feedback surveys, but you may not find any of the other modules, right? So just to know that feedback is a little different, but it definitely is a data source. And if it is the case that you're concerned about, and should be, gender, then you may well want to look at what's going on with this indicator. It's a single indicator that's composed of a survey that's computed from a survey instrument that is an hour long, or an hour and a half long. So, not my favorite kind of work.
But I think what the question brings out is one of the bottom lines here is the U.S. aid and the U.S. government have funded a tremendous number of studies and their databases, and there's a ton of data out there, and we will help you, and Nancy with her expertise, to prioritize and find it and apply it to suit your needs. But aid owns a lot of these data sets, and so it will be easier, as Nancy was saying, to facilitate your access to them.
Now, I want to switch gears a little bit, and then I'll go back to show you some of the websites. Novel data and methods. And we just talked about this explosion in technology, and it's really, really remarkable. I can't tell you, I feel like I was born 20 years too soon because it's just such a lovely wonderland of knowledge. But I'm not going to let my age deter me. So, because you know, people our age are not the early adopters typically, but some of us are positive deviants. So, cell phones, because those are pretty concrete. Social media, increasingly. Twitter has served as a great source of social media data that has associated with it since 2007. And I have an example that I did from Hurricane Ike and Gustav in 2008 using online, web-based, open source analytical tools, visualization tools. Financial transactional data,